How many speakers we got lined up? Who's gonna speak here?
I got 200 feet speakers, and you have one?
Yeah, we'll get 10 seconds apiece.
Yeah, a lot of people said, oh, they can hardly wait.
And a lot of towns don't get that. He's already given his,
They do?
Now, he did.
People are really excited about it.
Oh, yeah, they like it. I've seen that. I didn't know how many people. He also had a contract with that. Petco out there.
You tell me I expect free.
I wish. No.
Always good, always good. I get it, well, sorry. Try it. It's very real. I like what you were doing. This is a couple of nights.
It's way goes more Mexican than Tex-Mex.
I saw all the guys, but I didn't see you. Oh, how are you doing? Saw a picture of you. I said the daughter was something. This generation.
Yes, mentioned it, diabetic, so the whole ones with cancer sick. Good news is, she's sick, she's unhappy.
The house.
Also not happy.
That's all. No sugar, you know.
Are these seats taken? No, no, no. How long that? I thought that was up
Margaret. Man Center.
Oh, no? Yeah.
Oh, wait, that's not you, Steve, is it? Who signed up? What Margaret signed up as Steve?
I did.
How do you spell your last name?
Oh, COHPNOU.
How you doing?
COHENOU.
I'm telling you, yes, sorry.
Okay, it's past 1 o'clock, so I'm gonna call this meeting to order. This is a special called emergency meeting of the Cook County Commissioners Court. Today is Thursday, November the 6th. We're in the Emergency Operations Center located at 401 Deputy Larry Miller Drive in Granbury, Texas. Mr. Richard Hayes.
Judge, I'll answer to anything you've got.
I don't know why that name is, every time I see the spelling of it, it throws me off. You get to do the invocation twice today.
Be my pleasure, Judge. Please pray with me. Our gracious Heavenly Father, we're so grateful that you've blessed us with this land of abundance. But Father, we know that there are people in our land who are struggling. Father, as we've come together today to talk about how we can help our neighbors. We pray that your spirit of love, neighborliness, and community will be upon us. We pray your wisdom upon our elected officials. The choices that they make will honor our community and your love. It's in the name of your Son, Jesus Christ, we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Please join me in the pledge to this great republic, United States.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Now, please join me in the pledge to the great state of Texas.
Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Okay. The business to be discussed and considered for approval is to discuss and take appropriate action to authorize the county judge to issue emergency funding to purchase and provide food to Hood County residents experiencing food insecurity as a result of the federal government shutdown and the suspension of programs providing essential food support to low-income families who have no other options to get food. This is, made aware of this yesterday afternoon when I was in a meeting in Waco. But I took the call and I'm glad I did. They held there well. So thank you for that. So this started a deal that we started yesterday afternoon, really. And I didn't realize that the food shortage has come so critical. Anyway, we have a number of speakers here today, and the first speaker is Richard Hayes, right?
There you go.
Yes, sir.
There you go.
Good afternoon, Judge and Commissioners. As a general rule, I don't think our county government should do the work that charities are best equipped to do. But there are exceptions, as with any rule. And in this case, I think of this more as a natural disaster. We have a sudden, unexpected onset of an impact to many, many people in our community. Impact that can easily overwhelm the efforts of our well-meaning charities in Hood County. So because this is such an unexpected and widespread impact of the lack of SNAP benefits for our community, I think it is indeed appropriate for the county to step up and help those who cannot help themselves. Thank you.
Amen.
Good deal. Okay, the next speaker is Mel Birdwell.
I shouldn't be the next speaker. I have nothing really to add.
Okay,
I don't. The smart people in the room are Crystal and Meredith. They're the ones that
okay.
are driving this train.
But
not
you
me.
do agree with Mr. Hayes' sentiment,
Oh.
sir?
Absolutely. I mean, it's what we're called to do. Christ tells us to feed the hungry and we're going to feed the hungry.
Okay.
Yeah. Feed our neighbors,
She's-
not our neighbors.
And Mel Birdwell is the one that did give me a call yesterday, and I looked at my phone, I saw that it was Mel, and I didn't know what to do. I was really conflicted at the time.
We've been to.
And I said,
It's never
shall I?
always a good thing.
That's right. I
for
never
us.
knew what I was gonna do, but I was right in the middle. I said, well, I better go ahead and take that, following the senator's lead, by the way.
Well,
So I went ahead and take it, and
There
I'm
was a
glad I did.
large group of us planning and that was our
We did,
consensus. is
and we went to work right away, and I think that this is the result of all that, so thank you.
A lot of big brains in that room.
Okay. So the next is Meredith Corrigan. Speak.
Good afternoon. I am here on behalf of.
Sure.
You're gonna probably have to speak up a little. We got speakers here a little
Okay.
bit, but speak a little louder. Yeah.
Okay. I am here on behalf of the Hood County Senior Center. As you all know, because we made you aware when we were requesting money earlier from the county, that we have lost funding for our seniors, especially for our Meals on Wheels, transportation, and congregate programs. And you were very generous this year. Thank you. But we have, since January 1, had to cut 47 seniors off of Meals on Wheels for no other reason other than funding. So that's just since January 1, we have about 25 more to cut before we are back at our funding level. So those are seniors who were already only receiving one meal a day because that's what we provide under Meals on Wheels. And these seniors also do not have the ability to go get a job to increase their income in their household. So they were relying on those meals delivered hot. Probably, we can assume, because they did qualify under a consumer needs assessment, that they cannot stand to cook that meal. That's why they received a hot meal instead of a grocery box, and now they no longer receive that either. So their families, if they can afford, are purchasing to bring food over, but majority of homes now are not multi-generational. So they are relying on food banks and other things to go get those meals, and if they can open them and if they can put them together, that's what they're depending on. So I ask for your consideration for those seniors in your precincts and in our county.
What's the dollar amount that you think that you need in order to purchase just necessary foodstuffs for the next week or so?
Overall,
Yes.
I would say that if we're talking about families, children, and seniors, if we could have $100,000 to support both the food banks that are running low and to purchase raw material to cook casseroles that we are offering to use the senior center kitchen for. We will put those into our freezers and use our ovens that we do have to reheat them if necessary, and we can distribute those throughout the county to supplement at least the dinner meal. And that would relieve some of the pressure from these food pantries that are seeing double the numbers just to get enough food into their homes.
Good. Anybody else have any questions here?
So how many people in Hood County are on SNAP?
4,412.
Okay,
So
thank you.
his question was, the judge said over the next 2 weeks, so you think $100,000 for 2 weeks?
Yes, ma'am. We're estimating that the cost for at least the casseroles is anywhere from $8 to $10, and that will feed 6 people.
You know what you told me? I was saying, I'd like to split, when I was talking to Margaret Campbell, is to let the senior citizens cook half the meals like you did in the casseroles, and then get staple foods like pinto beans and rice and cornmeal to make, like we always had back in El Campo sometimes, pinto beans and cornbread and an onion is a pretty good meal for me sometimes. And Meredith told me, she says, this younger generations do not know how to cook beans or rice, and that they found that if you give it to them, they just throw them away. Are you kidding me? You know, maybe sometimes that they're gonna have to get a program that if that's all they had to eat, maybe they would kind of help them help themselves on the deal. Now, these young kids that can't do anything for themselves, that's a wholly different story for me. I'm gonna feed kids if it's within my power to do so. But thank you for that, but they need to be getting some education courses on how to cook pinto beans. So the next speaker is Crystal Moore. Crystal, do you want to come on out?
Judge, Commissioners, thank you for the opportunity to speak today. I want to begin by recognizing something extremely important, and that is.
Speak up as much as you can so the people in the back.
Oh, sorry. Okay, I'll try to read louder because I don't want to forget any of these things. I want to recognize something important today, and that is that Hood County has always believed in limited government, personal responsibility, and neighbors taking care of neighbors. What that belief is exactly why we're here today. What we're experiencing right now is not a failure of Hood County and not a failure of our families. This is the result of a federal shutdown that has frozen SNAP benefits for 2,300 Hood County families, including seniors, children, and working households. Our nonprofits are stepping up to provide emergency stabilization. Our churches are stepping up. Our volunteers are stepping up, and this entire community is stepping up for this emergency stabilization. But the need has grown beyond what donations and volunteers alone can meet to support short term. That is the only reason we're asking for your partnership, not to create long-term programs, not to shift responsibility to the government, and not to build new systems, but to provide emergency stabilization, to bridge a temporary gap for families and seniors who, through no fault of their own, suddenly have no way to access food. There's another challenge affecting us. The federal shutdown has disrupted Tarrant Area Food Bank's supply chain. They rely on USDA commodities and federal shipments to supply Hood County's food pantries. Those shipments are now delayed or halted. Their inventory is lower than we've ever seen it, and because of this, our pantries can't get the volume they normally receive. This is simply not sustainable without temporary support. We are asking the county to replace community support. We are asking for the county to stand with the community, provide emergency stabilization while we work through the federal disruptions that none of us caused and none of us can control. Just like you fund law enforcement to keep people safe, and just like you fund roads to keep people moving, this request is about protecting the stability and safety of our residents until the federal government restores benefits and food bank supply lines are repaired. This isn't charity. This is an emergency stabilization. It is a short-term investment to prevent emergency room visits, law enforcement calls, senior neglect, child hunger, and deeper crises that cost far more than temporary food support. We are committed to full transparency, full reporting, and full accountability for every dollar spent. Today, we're asking you to help us help them. Thank you for your time, and I'm here for questions. There's a lot of information here, and so I'm sure you have questions. Please
Like
ask away.
you heard Heather say that she needs $100,000 to feed the senior citizens. How do your two organizations interconnect, or what, how much money do you think United Way, if we get the money, county gave the money to United Way, could you disperse it to the senior citizens committee and then?
Yes, sir. This is not just a one agency thing. This is a group of all of the pantries, the nonprofits coming together and asking for the 100,000. We are looking at it going towards the casseroles and to supplement the food pantries. It is not just one organization.
Well, I see that Rancho Brazos is here, and I know that there's a bunch of kids out there at Rancho Brazos. I see 50 kids every Christmas down there seeing Mr. and Mrs. Claus down there on the thing. If that's taking that into account too?
Absolutely.
Who do you represent? I don't know.
United
anybody.
Way of the
United
county.
Way.
Okay, perfect.
Yes.
Thank you.
So $100,000 for all?
I think it will get us started. We are not asking for you to fund a program. We are asking for help to get families food during the SNAP benefit crisis, and then also to help us until the food supply chain is back up and running.
Okay, and I understand from talking to Mel yesterday that y'all out of food now, that Tarrant County Food Bank didn't have any food to deliver, so y'all don't have any food now to give anybody?
They have enough food to deliver for tomorrow's First Friday Food Pantry. And then we just looked right before this meeting, Tarrant Area Food Bank West has just enough food in their warehouse to feed SNAP families in Hood County alone one day. And that is for the entire Tarrant Area Food Bank District, for that warehouse.
Okay,
And we are not the only county that they serve.
We serve 11 counties.
They serve 11 counties. So we are going to have to go and purchase food from private entities in order to serve our families. And we are finding that the casseroles are going to be the best way to spend that money. It's going to go much, much further that way.
so looking at the mechanics of this thing, if Hood County would get the check, and that's another thing I need to find out from the treasurer and the county auditor, if we can decide what fund, if we decide to do this, what fund to get the money from, how soon can we get the money? How soon do you need the money? If United Way got the money into their account, can y'all distribute it to the other charities without paying any administrative cost? And can you get it to them right away? Can you go and buy food from the local grocery stores?
I don't think that the local grocery stores would be able to sustain us. Once SNAP benefits hit, the grocery stores are gonna be out of food because they've slowed down their supply chains. We're not gonna take administrative costs from United Way, but it's going to cost energy for the senior center to bake all of those casseroles. And so we're gonna have to do that, but I mean, the money would go out immediately.
Go out and make,
As soon as United Way gets it, we will start distributing it.
so where are you gonna buy it from, like Benny Keith
For
or
the raw
Cisco?
materials, we are looking at Benny Keith. We've talked to one rep, and then we also have, we have a conversation going with someone else to see if they can help us get discounts on this bulk food because it is for emergency food.
You know, has Alan Klein here? I thought he was here.
Yeah.
There you are. Can you find, does anybody here know how soon we could get, they need the money right away so they can buy the food. Can you talk to Stephanie and Leanne McCoy and find out that if we pass something, how soon can we actually do this, cutting through the rigmarole of finding out what fund we have, what source of money that we have? There's several, the contingency fund 55 or the Y funds, bunch of different stuff, but if we vote on it, how soon can we get a check cut to give to United Way so that they can buy the food and so they can prepare it and feed these people?
Sure.
You know, looking at this draft here of what we were trying to do, it says 5 days. 5 days, we're gonna have people robbing grocery stores and holding me up on my way to the ranch. I'm not all for that, you know? I experienced that in Argentina one time when I was dove hunting, you know? You got it. So we needed money right away. Find out how soon we can get it. If it's an emergency, it's an emergency. Seem like if we authorize it, how can we do it legally? Gotta be a way to do it, right?
I emailed Stephanie to see if she could get over here.
Oh, did
I
you?
did, I just sent her an email.
Well, and also Leanne, boy, because she's the one that writes the check.
Right.
Okay? So, okay. Let's see, the next speaker is, Nen Hewitt.
Oh,
Nen Hewitt. He can really make a mean casserole.
Judge and Commissioners, I'm Dan Hewlett. I'm here representing actually People Help the People, which is we sell stuff to raise money for the food and stuff, and we have a food distribution there. We have increased our food distribution to 3 days a week from 2 days a week, and it was running along pretty smooth there, whatever, 40 and 50 people a day, whatever. That's kind of what we average, our Fridays got a little low. But with that said, since this is hitting right now, we are up to over 100 people a day. And that started this week. And that's what scares me, because it's kind of like the old saying of demand and what you have on hand. Right now, the demand's there, but we don't have what it's going to take to be on, to feed all these people. And so I personally think $100,000 is not going to go very far, but it's going to help us get on board, and it's going to help us to manage this problem that we have for how long it's going to be. We don't know. You don't know how long this is going to be. We hope it'll be short-lived, especially after the elections here, maybe. I don't know. But right now, we've got people that need to be fed in the community, and we've got more people need to be fed now through these organizations that we have that distribute food, because they're not getting it to staff. So the community has come together great, and this community does that all the time. I've got people right now that are leaving food at my house. Just say, hey, take this up here, because if there's any good that comes out of social media, this is some good things, because we posted it on social media and people see that we need food, and they are coming to our place and giving it to us, or giving it to some people that belong to that place. And that's good, but I appreciate what the community does. And that's why we're asking the Commissioners Court to come together and to help out, as far as, to be a partner, and they always have been, with the community. And that's what the community is doing. That's what we're asking the Commissioners Court to do. And I don't think it's asking a whole lot, because like I said, $100,000 is just a tip in the bucket of what we're going to need, I think, down the road, because it's going to get bigger before it just levels out. And we did talk about in a meeting that even if it was to clear up tomorrow, it's the pipeline that we got to fix. We've already got those people that are in the pipeline that need food right now, and we don't know where we're going to get the stuff for them. So, like I said, I'm representing right now People Helping People, but I'm also aware of all the other places in Granbury that do the same thing we do, and they feed people, and they got people that are coming there to get food, and it's and theirs are increasing. We've increased over 30%. I looked probably next week be over 40% probably. And we got a speaker in here, Rodney Dickens. He'll speak a little bit about that. He buys all of our food, and he's out there today trying to buy food from local people at a discounted rate, and they say, yes, we will do that for you. People in the community, yes, we will help you out. But it's not going to be enough. We're still going to have that monetary money to help do that kind of stuff. We we sell retail stuff to raise money, and we're doing really well on that, but we don't have the money to do that, at this point as the amount of people that we're getting. So I hope the commissioner court is, you asked a good question, Judge. I asked that question in a meeting. Where's those funds at? What kind of funds does the commission, or does the courts have that they can just set aside? I've been up here on other things, in this EOC building, and we have some funds set aside for like emergency causes, but I don't know that we have, or that you guys have some emergency funding just for this, to feed the people in Granbury, but, hopefully they do have something like that.
No, we do have an emergency funds. We didn't have anything emergency to cover the discontinuation of SNAP benefits, but that's what we're doing. We're gonna try to decide that so
Okay,
we can get some money, but you're right. And to get the money quickly too.
So Judge, I talked to Leanne. Yeah, she can get the check today as long as it's approved. And there's somebody to pick it up and be,
Oh, I don't think we'll have any problem getting anybody to pick up the check.
right, but we need to fill out that template. Right,
and I know you caught it when Crystal talked about the distribution of this, Crystal, she knows as much about every one of these organizations as anybody, and she knows exactly how that distribution is gonna have to occur to satisfy all the different people that are doing this thing, just from the senior center to the people help people to all those people, have a different need. And Crystal she's pretty up on all those needs, stuff. So
Yeah, she kind of rules with an iron hand. I've been on committee.
she'll be the person.
Yeah, I've served on committees with.
We trust her with our check.
Yeah, okay, all right.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, Jim. All right. The next speaker is Fred Orkin. This is another good guy.
Thank you, sir. I don't represent any organization. I am a part of Loaves and Fishes at Lakeside, and I've been associated with the Meals on Wheels in the past. I just want you to know I support this and urge you to take action today.
Good, thank you, sir. Okay, next is Mary Flores. Yes.
Good evening. Thank you for your time. My name is Mary Flores. I'm the crime victim liaison at the Hood County Sheriff Office, and I'm also on the advisory board for the Salvation Army. I want to share what happened to me not too long ago on a case. We had an elderly man who was 72 years old calling law enforcement, calling 911, asking for food and water. Our officers assisted. Again, the same elderly man was calling 911 again, asking for food and water. When I was told about the third time that he had called, that's when I went out. You got to understand what I do at the sheriff office is provide victim services. That means sexual assault, family violence. That's what I deal with. Food assistance is not really what I look into in some of the calls that we're getting. That's why we have our food pantries. But this one I was notified, they said, Mary, can you please go check on this elderly man? I think there's something else going on that we don't know about. So when I went to the elderly man, he had no water. He had no septic. Retired man. He had a brand new mobile home that he uses retirement money to purchase. But he got sick. He had no family members in Hood County. He had no family members in the state of Texas. When I thought, well, this is going to be an easy case, we're going to work on this case and get him signed up for Meals on Wheels. And guess what? There's a wait list. And it broke my heart that I wasn't going to be able to get him food assistance regularly like I thought I was. And it really opened up my eyes that if we don't assist the agencies that are here present today, my biggest fear is that our officers are going to be getting calls for food and water. We're tying up our deputies that should be working on crimes, not assisting with food and water. So that's the reason I want to say, please help our agencies that are here in Hood County. We do not want to tie up our officers in helping people with food and water.
Good point. Good
So-
point. Thank you, Mary. She does a superb job for the sheriff's office too. Really. All right, the next speaker is Rodney Dickens.
Rodney Dickens. I'm with People Helping People. I manage all the food operations. And I'll try not to echo too much of what Lynn said, but he's really hit on some good points that I'll also mention. Just to give you a little background, we are the oldest one in town, People Helping People as far as the food bank. In 2021, we had like 3,500 families that we fed. And I'm gonna fast forward up to 2025. We were doing about 250 families a week. So this year, we've jumped to about 300 families starting the year up till about 2 weeks ago. And now then, we're seeing over, as Nan said, 100 every time we're open. We're open Monday, Wednesday, Fridays, 10 o'clock, 2 o'clock. So there's definitely an increase, not only folks that, I mean, these are people we haven't seen, and we're signing up new people on a regular basis now, anywhere from 10 to 15 a day out of that 100. So overall, Nen made a good comment about the 30% increase that we've seen in our client base. But it's a little higher than that, and it's even going to go higher is next week. And I was in a panic situation yesterday, and I take all this real serious because I had no more meetings. And that's the first time in my history of over 3 years of people that.
How many years?
3 years of my being there that we've never run out of meat. So that was, and I mean, people were just coming in and, you know, the kids with them, and, you know, you look at those kids and you really, and I don't want you to get emotional over this, but it is kind of emotional when you see people that are hungry and they come in and they need food and you have to turn them away. Fortunately, we had tons of produce. One other thing I'll mention is that we've really got a good network with some of our partners like Brazos. They really shared some produce with us. We've got Loaves and Fishes. They do the same thing. Also the Church of Christ. So we kind of, when we're low in something, I make a phone call. And fortunately, we're able to help each other. Yesterday, I made some calls. Nobody could give me bread. Nobody could give me meat. So I went to a local place yesterday afternoon, and they gave me their price for 100 pound of beef. That will hopefully get us through tomorrow. So just a couple of other things. Stats that you're probably not that interested in, but I went back and looked over the years, and we do see some trends. Believe it or not, January and October are our busiest months. Our busiest day in the week is a Wednesday. And we're open Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So I thought this was interesting to, you know, see the trend there. Also, I mentioned the new clients, the food bank. What a wonderful job, the Tarrant area food bank, you know, that they provide. But when you actually do the ordering, you see where they're lacking also the food. And, you know, for the first time, once again, no meat in the menu that I could order from. So this is very critical. You know, if you're hands-on and you're seeing those people every day and they're hurting, well, then I do get emotional about that. So I would ask, you know, that we really step up and try to help our people. I don't know what $100,000 will do. I mean, with this increase of people, and I know everyone else is experiencing the same thing, but at least it will get us maybe through next week. Anyway, thank you for your time, and any help we can give, we appreciate. And also the donations that we're getting from the community, just been outstanding. Totally outstanding. So we appreciate that.
Okay, the next speaker is Kristen Billington. Kristen Billington?
Yes, hi, Joe. I'm just here to support everyone and also remind you of the healthcare implications that food insecurity has on our community. And we will probably see an increase in that in our clinic as well.
You're at Ruth's Place.
Ruth's Place, yeah.
Or Pin Hill Foundation.
That's right, yes.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, all right, Margaret Coinower.
Hi, thank you for listening to us today, just bringing concerns to you from the community. Same as
All right, you're gonna have to
Kristen.
speak up a little.
Same
bit.
as Kristen, I'm not gonna say much because I'm not directly impacted yet, but just to let y'all know, I support what Kristen said. We see children who have severe mental health trauma from abuse that they've suffered. If they're hungry, they aren't gonna deal with counseling needs. They want to be fed. And so, you know, we do snacks and juice boxes, and believe me, I have to replenish those weekly, but all these people in here are where we send our families for help. So it is concerning when I'm hearing about the shortages. So I'm here to support as well.
Good. You know, I think Margaret Campbell and I were talking earlier today, and she said when families are hungry, the incidents of abuse are really more likely to occur. Everybody's on the edge, the kids are crying, wanting food. I mean, that's really a bad situation. The next speaker is Danny Dwight.
My name is Danny Dwight, and I appreciate y'all listening to us. I'm gonna get a little bit deeper in the weeds just a little bit here, not the big picture of the whole county, but just my experiences working in local food pantries. I've been with People Helping People for the last 10 years. And back when I started, you could do 20 bags of groceries a day and that'd be all you do. And now they're doing 100 bags of groceries a day. I won't go into more detail because they've already covered that. For the last 10 years, I've also worked at the First Friday Food Pantry at First Methodist Church. When I started there, they could average about 150 families a month. One day a month, that's the only time they ran their pantry. They'd average about 150. In the last couple of months, it's gone from 200 to 250. And last month, they brought food for 250 and we ran out. That's just in the last month. They're expecting it, tomorrow is the First Friday Food Pantry. We're expecting to sell out again on the food we have up there. The increase is going on right now. Ruth Place is in the process right now of turning over the operation of Oak Trail Shores, the food pantry and the outreach center to my church, First Christian Church. And we've been running the pantry now all this whole year out there. Been working there for the last 5 or 6 years. In the last month, the amount of food that we've needed out there for this 1 day a week pantry for 3 hours a day has gone up 20% in 1 month. Our church has a food drive every month to help provide food for that pantry. And we load up 3 pickup trucks full of food out there once a month and take it out there. 1 month later, all that food is gone. We've almost doubled the amount of food that we take out there just over the last couple of months, and it's still going away. The need for the food is out there. We have people that will work delivering the food. If you want to come up to First Friday Food Pantry tomorrow, you see it, our community in action. There'll be 50 or 75 or more people up there helping to get this food out to the community. At First Friday, at Oak Trail Shores, our church does everything they can. We provide people, we provide food. The need is still there for any help we can get on getting food delivered to the people out here. The communities, the churches and organizations all over this county help to do these things. But it's going to take every one of us to get us through this. It's getting tougher and we need all the help we can get.
Thank you. All right. The last speaker here is Carol. Carol.
Is it okay if I stand here as long as I talk loud?
Yeah, you got to speak loud.
I can speak loud. My name is Charlotte Carroll and I'm with Rancho Brazos Community Centers. We are the only free after-school program in Hood County serving K through 12. And I would like to tell you one small story of one mom who came last week to enroll her 3 children. Her first question was not supervision. Her first question was not tutoring. Her first question was, You will feed my children dinner 5 nights a week, correct? That's food insecurity. Many of you have said a lot of the things in my notes. I don't want to take up your time. I don't see this as a problem for Hood County, y'all. This is a challenge. And everyone who is in this room has rose up today to address it. That is step one. Step two, I will also include. Over the summer, we have our summer program to feed the children through the Granbury ISD. Rancho Brazos Community Center served 531 of those lunches this summer in 6 weeks. Upcoming, our students are going to be off school for 1 week for Thanksgiving. 56% of the student body in Hood County is on free or reduced lunch. So now we are looking soon at children not only not getting breakfast and lunch that they would have at school, but now they will not have dinner at home. So we are facing a challenge that does not end in November, because while our grandchildren are making their Christmas list, some of our parents are struggling to figure out how they're going to feed their kids while they are off school for the Christmas vacation. It's important that we address this now. Margaret has spoke to the increase that we will see, and so has Miss Mary, the increase that we are going to see in abuse with children and neglect with children. Domestic violence will rise. When people can't feed their kids, the house crumbles. And then for numbers, because I know we need numbers too. 3,138 meals as of yesterday have been served at Rancho Brazos Community Centers to children since school started in August. In 2021, from March of 20 to March of 21, Rancho Brazos Community Centers pushed out their doors 51,500 hot box meals. So Meredith, in any way that our kitchens can come alongside and help your kitchens, if your demographic to focus is your seniors, we're prepared to also assist and come alongside and start taking care of our kids. I thank every one of you for taking time out of your schedules and coming and addressing this today. Thank you.
Okay. Any of the commissioners wish to say anything?
You bet. First off, I've been deeply involved in helping, different agencies here in the county. I've served, to go pick up food multiple days. Thursday, we pick, as an example, we pick up 3 different places on Thursdays, deliver that back out, be distributed. Saturday and Sunday, go to Weatherford to pick up products to deliver. And the West Texas Food Bank West, which is the other side of Weatherford. And part of the reason we were doing that with the trailer, taking my flatbed trailer, was to save the money, because the $129 bought 5 pallets of food 2 months ago.
Yes, sir.
Had it been delivered, it would have been a little over $1,000 for delivery fee. So, I've already made it clear, and my trucks and trailers always available to go help haul food products from wherever, because that is part of what we do for this county, for the citizens of this county. And, bringing up the issue about 56% of the student population in GISD on free or reduced lunches, that speaks volumes, folks, for those who have food on the table and food in the fridge and pantry. A lot of those people don't. It's not just one part of the county, it's the entire county. And as I was showing somebody the other day, I showed him some, areas in my precinct. I said, it's got the same situation in every precinct. And he didn't register till I showed him some of those. So, this is something that we need to, do what we can to help, not just get through this crisis, but going forward on a regular basis. Okay, thank you.
Okay, does any commissioner have anybody else have anything to say?
I've got a question, maybe The SNAP program is administered by the state, correct?
It's federal money that comes to the state.
Right.
Yeah.
Is there a chance that the state could get reimbursed with
No.
this after all the?
They were told
Political.
directly they would not reimburse SNAP benefits in the state of Texas. There are $600 million of SNAP benefits a month. So they cannot fund that. That's what the governor's office told me.
I think that was already public too on TV. I see where somebody said something about it.
I was told no, every possible way you could be told no.
Well, let's talk about the immediate question up here. Does anybody feel like that $100,000 is sufficient to get us through 2 weeks? Do you think it'll buy us 2 weeks? I'm like, man, I worry about the pipeline itself.
I have a
It'll be
question.
dependent
So
on how many people come.
What's the, how does the, and what about the Joseph's Locker and others that aren't part of United Way? I mean, there's other entities that do this kind of stuff. If there's one agreement and one subsidy that goes to one entity, how do the ones that aren't part of United Way, how are they going to?
This isn't a United Way
We're all part.
venture
Yeah,
at
Joseph
all.
Soccer is part of United Way.
In Brazos Pregnancy Center?
But here's what the main concern is, that everybody who's a partner with Tarrant Area Food Bank. So all of these food pantries that receive food are not allowed to get that food and cook it and distribute
Right.
that. So for them to stay clean, it needs to go through an organization that does not partner with Tarrant Area Food Bank for all of the money. So United Way is not a partner with Tarrant Area Food Bank, so they could distribute both money to supply food for the food pantries and money to buy food to cook. And it would not be, it would be above board and be out of the question that there would be a concern with Tarrant Area Food Bank later.
It keeps you legal.
Yes,
Is that a 50-50 split?
that's up for negotiation for all of us.
Yeah.
So the staff benefits that aren't being distributed because of the government shutdown, what happens when eventually the government reopens? Are those, because there's funds that should be going out, but they're not going out. So are they accumulating, and then what happens?
They are not.
It's not funded right now.
It is not funded. So, right now, Hood County has lost $707,000 in 1 month of SNAP benefits. That's what comes to Hood County in SNAP benefits. We're not getting that. They are saying that they are trying to work on something that will get us half funded just in the emergency time right now, but they're not saying anything about fully funding it. So we're not looking at getting fully funded yet. I know $100,000 seems like a lot, but when you compare it to the $707,000 that's not coming into the county, and just to put it, another spin on it, for every dollar that comes to Hood County in SNAP benefits, the families spend $1.73 in the economy. Because when it's coming in, they're spending more. It seems like they've got more. So just kind of letting you know.
But the other part of that, I don't know what the amount is, but there's, and thank you all for stepping up and doing everything you do. But there's also, the cry has gone out, and there's people that are filling up, asking for trailers, and just like, when Hill Country went through the floods, there was so much that came from Hood County that went down to the flood victims in Hill Country. That's happening too, so hopefully that's supplementing
Well,
what you're
there's
saying.
something I might add to that.
Speak
is
up.
that Whenever, what we've experienced is, like yesterday, I was rationing the food. So because we can't get as much as we normally, we give very little to the people that are coming that really need it. So, the amounts that we're giving out has decreased. So that,
Yeah, I'm just saying that you're saying 100,000 doesn't sound like a lot to, or it sounds like a lot, but it's not compared to hopefully the part of the rest is being from the other churches and community at large. I mean,
Yeah, I'm
people are
seeing,
coming forward to help every way they can.
yeah, I'm seeing a lot of Facebook posts, churches are, and hey, we're a generous people around here. We absolutely are. When a crisis comes, we step up and fill that need. And I think that some of that, there are a lot of places out there that are posting, hey, come by here, get a free taco casa up and up on 377, bring your kids in here and we'll give them a kids meal. And this community will come together and help fill this need. And I say that because there's no way $707,000 a month is sustainable for the county to fund the shortfall of SNAP. That's absolutely not a reality here, but this community will band together and we will.
And Commissioner, you get a good example about the flooding and things like that. That's exactly where we're at. The community's coming together. They're out there helping out with whatever they can to do that and stuff. And so we're just asking the commissioners to be a part of that also, to help out, to give the money or the fundings and stuff. We talked about if it would close tomorrow and we didn't need all the money or whatever, we've got an ability to say, hey, thank you, but you don't need it now, but we will need it. But
Just to realize it's not our money.
oh, yeah,
It's-
yeah, we
it's
understand it. Taxpayer does.
all their money.
And that's why we emphasize that the taxpayers are out there right now
Mhm.
trying to help us supplement that. There are many, many people, what you talk about social media, and I said it myself, that's one good tool was the social media, because we posted, several people posted, and people from all over, I had people dropping stuff off my house.
Yes.
And I don't even know where it come from, but I know what it was for, because it was in the bags and it was the things that we needed, because we posted what we needed.
That is
And
what's
they're
so-
coming together. They're
so-
helping us.
So amazing about.
But they can
this
only help so
community.
much.
People, when they see a need, people come together, just like, when the fire departments say, hey, we need water, all of a sudden there's more.
Well, hey,
I know
we're getting off.
the subject.
I'm worried about getting this money to these people now. It's already 2:00 today. Let's get them some money. I move that the Commissioners Court get the money from either Fund 55 or from the Y proceeds that we have.
Actually, Judge, we have an emergency management fund, Fund 101, that I've been texting with.
How much do we have in there?
We have
Margaret?
$250,000.
How much?
$250,000 in there. That is the emergency management disaster fund that we use to fund immediate needs when the disaster hits the county.
Well, that would probably
This
work
would
an
count.
immediate need right
It
now.
would.
So we could do that on the deal. So
Yes, sir.
that's where you would, the emergency fund.
Yes, sir.
Fund
Well, I
101.
move that we use 100,000 from the emergency fund. Is it Fund 101? Is that what you said?
Yes, sir.
Fund 101 that the county give a check to United Way of Hood County. That's to be distributed by United Way of Hood County, namely you, with you being responsible for it. Okay?
Trust her with
So all these other nonprofit food banks that you work with, you know how to, but all of y'all seem to work well together. So all of y'all are gonna need to work well together to distribute it to these organizations so that none of these families are gonna be desperate and starving, especially if you got elderly and young people with you. So that's my motion.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Wilson. Any further discussion?
One thing that just, listening to all of you and watching what's happening in the news. I don't know if anybody has read the book, Atlas Shrugged.
Ann Ryan.
But this exact situation where the government is controlling the food is what the lesson is in that book.
Yeah.
So if we continue to go down this path of the government being responsible for feeding people, this is what the government can do. And as you all have said, when people are hungry, that's when bad things happen. So if you haven't read that book, you need to read it. We need to change the course of this country.
All right, anything else? All right, I'll call for the vote. All those in favor of dispersing $100,000 from the emergency fund 101 to United Way of Hood County, say aye.
Aye.
All. Who was that? You, me? How did you vote?
At all.
Aye.
It's
You-
5-0.
Aye. You, how did you vote?
Aye.
Aye. Unanimous, 5-0. So Alan, I'll hand this back to you. So you can fill it out on the deal. So crack through this thing, it says up on 5 business days. So one day, just give it to her. Fill it out so that we walk it down and get the check. And Crystal, you're gonna go down there. I guess you could just write it right away.
Let you know now, the
You-
warrant today and what fund it's coming out of.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. You can text her that.
Well, several of us have been going back and
All
forth.
right, well, good. So
Thank you
hand
all.
hand this to the
For trusting us.
Hang out.
Yeah, you can thank the Democrats.
Thank you.
You can thank the Democrats in DC for this.
I agree.
Democrats.
Good, how are you?
Yeah.